We all know about those Star Wars Kenner toys. But what about Kenner Star Wars employee items? Let's take a look. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a brand new video. What are we going to talk about today? Well, we're going to look at Star Wars Kenner employee items. This was stuff given out to employees that work for Kenner, or somehow related to that. Maybe something was given away at Toy Fair also. It's not stuff that was sold at stores that I thought you guys might get a kick out of seeing. Now, a reminder before we get started, I don't really plug my social media much, but if you like to read stupid tweets, do what Kevin Feige does. That's right, Kevin Feige follows the Junkman. And so can you. Head over to the Twitter for that Junkman on Twitter. Links in the description below. Or if you just want to see toy tweets, Kenner Toys. Don't let the name fool you. I also tweet other toys there besides Kenner, although it's mostly Kenner related. And if you're a Facebook user, head over to that Junkman's Junk group on Facebook. Again, link in the description below, and also on Instagram. Now, with that out of the way, let's get started with this video. Let's talk about Kenner Star Wars employee items. And one of the first things we're going to look at is a pen that I would really love to have. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of pen that you stick on your shirt, your hat, or your diaper. I'm talking about the kind of pen that you write with. That's right, a Kenner Star Wars pen. Let's take a look at that. In 1977, Kenner got the rights for the Star Wars toys, and they wanted everyone to know, mostly the employees and toy insiders. During the Toy Fair of 1978 and 1979, Kenner would hand out these black pens that read Star Wars, only by Kenner. Now, back in the day, I mostly wrote with crayons or pencils, but I would love to have this pen. And just so you know, if I wrote with a pencil, of course, it had to be a number 2 pencil. I mean, who would use a number 3 pencil? What fools. And if it was a number 2 pencil, to be cool, it had to be a rubber jack. Does anybody even remember rubber jack pencils? Does anyone know what I'm talking about? They were the best pencils to use when you were going to have a pencil break war. I guess that's what you called it. Remember, one would hold the pencil, you would hold your pencil back and try to break his other pencil? Oh, good times, good times. Guess I should have been listening more in school instead of playing break the pencil with my rubber jack number 2. Now here's another item that was given away at Toy Fair in the late 70s. It was a Star Wars button that read, "May the Force be with you." How they came up with that catchy slogan is sadly lost in history. But the button also has the Star Wars title header and the Kenner logo at the bottom. That's one button I wouldn't mind having. Man, that's pretty cool. If I went to Toy Fair in the late 70s, I would have been happy just getting a handful of buttons and pins. In 1978, Kenner was having the best year in history, and it was all thanks to Star Wars. So they celebrated and thanked the Kenner sales team. Kenner gave their sales team this coffee mug that read $200 million in sales. This isn't really Star Wars related, but Star Wars is the reason they made $200 million in sales, so I guess in a way, it is Star Wars related. In 1978, there was the Junior Achievement Program. This is where some young achievers, hence the name, came up with products that companies might like to sell one day. The nonprofit organization awarded the Star Wars Message Center as that year's winner of Best Engineered Product and presented it to Kenner. Here we see a plastic Star Wars sheet over a piece of corkboard. And at the bottom is that wacky slogan, "May the Force be with you." Somewhere out there, someone knows how Kenner came up with this crazy slogan. Again, it was lost in history, but maybe one day we will find out how they came up with this. But let's take a break from Kenner and jump the rails with his sister company, Lionel, who made the Star Wars racetrack that I did a video on. Please check that out if you didn't. This was a 1977 toy train that was given away to toy dealers and sales team for the support of increased sales of 1977. It's not 100% Star Wars, but if you look closely, you'll see R2-D2 on the side of the train. That's a cool looking toy train and an impressive looking R2-D2. Now, I don't know about you, but my stomach's empty, so let's talk about a Kenner Toy Fair breakfast. In 1982, the Kenner Engineering Model Shop gave away this item at that year's Toy Fair breakfast giveaway. This was the same year that Kenner was releasing the Micro Collection. So to help promote it, they glued a Micro Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader to the top of a plastic base. This Toy Fair breakfast sounds like something at Toy Fair, but it was held a month after Toy Fair for the Kenner employees. The breakfast was held to hype up new items for the year and what was a big hit at Toy Fair. There are actually two of these, one with a plastic base and another more fancy one on a wood base. I don't know what you had to do to win this, but I'm sure it was some kind of silly question you had to answer about some toys coming out that year to make sure the employees were paying attention. Now, one question I've always had in my mind is, how did Kenner know about bootleg toys? They couldn't go around looking at all the toy shops. They had to rely on maybe the sales team out in the market seeing bootlegs and telling Kenner or Lucasfilm about them, or maybe stores reporting it themselves. But it seems Lucasfilm was also on the lookout for bootleg stuff. Let's take a look. Lucasfilm mailed this poster tube bootleg lightsaber called the Light Beam by LA Hotline to Kenner Toys, seeing what information they had on it. I'm guessing someone at Lucasfilm found out about the bootleg and decided to alert Kenner just to see what was going on. Now this here isn't related to Star Wars at all, but it's pretty cool and I had to show it. Employees got or maybe had a chance to purchase a Kenner red baseball cap. I'm not sure exactly what swag is, but I'm sure this has something to do with it. Now let's talk about one of the coolest shirts I've ever seen. In the mid-80s, Tonka took over Kenner. What did Kenner do? Well, they made a shirt that said, "Shit happens," showing a Tonka truck with the Kenner bird mascot pinned to the truck's grill, the Mr. Monopoly Man hanging on for dear life, and the Playboy Doughboy in fear as the Tonka truck ran over the text Kenner Parker. The license plate on the Tonka truck read I8KPT. What does IKPT stand for? I ate Kenner Park Toys. I guess a lot of these guys at Kenner wasn't excited about Tonka coming in and buying the company. Well, a few years later in the early 90s, they would merge again, this time being bought out by Hasbro. And wouldn't you know it, those wacky employees over at Kenner made a t-shirt for that also. This time the shirt returned, but was called Shit Happens 2, the merger. And it was a lot more violent. The Tonka truck was now driven by a G.I. Joe action figure and was trying to run down Mr. Monopoly Man. Under its tire was the Playboy Doughboy, who is giving a middle finger as he takes his last breath. I never thought I would see the Playboy Doughboy giving the finger. Now, before you say in the comments section, yes, I know Mr. Monopoly Man has a name, but let's get back to Kenner Star Wars employee items. In 1981, excited about their upcoming Micro Collection, and as a thank you, they sent over to Lucasfilm this Micro Collection glass display. It must be noted here that what you're looking at is what they call 4-ups. They're a lot bigger than the released micro figures. To give you a sense of the size of these figures, the base they're standing on is about 2 feet in length. Now let's move away from the Micro Collection and look at some more buttons. And here's a 1984 button that reads, Star Wars Kenner Convention. This was most likely an item just given away at Toy Fair. I've never heard anything about a Kenner Star Wars convention, although it sounds like heaven. But let's look at 2 more items that's not Star Wars related, but I couldn't do this video without talking about them because they were so cool. First up, around the time Kenner was releasing the Terminator action figures, the old Kenner Goofy Bird returned on a Kenner employee mug. This time the bird was dressed in all black with a Terminator look, saying, "I'm back." I guess you could call this the TBird 1000. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good joke right there. Now, one last item is not really Kenner related, but is Hasbro related, and I thought you guys get a kick out of this, so I wanted to talk about it. Take a look at this pin. Sometime in the mid-90s, Hasbro made these buttons for their employees that read, "To hell with Mattel." I'm sure if they made this button today, it would trigger Mattel employees, and they would have to apologize on Twitter within the hour. But it's a pretty cool button. You can tell they were having a fun jab at the whole Hasbro versus Mattel. Well, that's a look at some Kenner employee items. Hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you thought. Or do you know about some I left off this list? Or is there any on this list you would like to have had? Maybe that stylish Kenner hat. I sure would have liked to have had it. And as always, please thumb up the video so I know you like my content and I make more like it. And subscribe to the channel. Okay, Fred, you got to take us out of here.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.